The lights are hot, the crowd is packed. Three men sit across from Rick Ross on a couch that's seen better days. But nobody cares because this is the 85 South Show. And when you're here, you're family. DC, Young Fly leans forward, eyes bright, because he's sitting across from someone he actually respects. Not just tolerates, respects. Rick Ross is laughing, that deep rumble that makes everything feel bigger than it is. And for a moment, it's perfect. They're talking about music, about hustling, about what it takes to stay on top when everyone's waiting for you to slip. Ross says something that hits different. You can't take your foot off the gas. Not for a second, not to breathe, not to think. You just keep pushing or you're done. DC nods, because he knows that feeling. He's been grinding since before most people knew his name. And hearing it from Ross, from someone who's supposed to be a legend, it feels like validation. They're vibing, their energy is right. Then Ross stands up, says he needs to use the restroom, says he's taking his jacket off. Nobody thinks anything of it. Why would they? People use the bathroom. People get hot under studio lights. It's normal, except Ross never comes back. The couch stays empty. The crew waits. 5 minutes, 10, 15. Someone checks the hallway. Someone calls his team. Nothing. He's gone. Vanished like smoke through a crack in the door. And DC Young Fly sits there. Mic still hot. Camera still rolling. Trying to figure out what just happened. Did they say something wrong? Did they push too hard? Was it something in the air? Something they couldn't see? The episode ends without him. They post it anyway, because what else are they supposed to do? And it does numbers. 8 million views. People love it. People share it. But inside, DC feels something he doesn't talk about at first. Humiliation. Because here's the thing. When you respect someone, when you call them one of the best lyricists from the South, when you tell them their words are poetry and you actually mean it, and they walk out on you without a word, that cuts different. That's not business. That's personal. So DC waits. He doesn't blast Ross immediately. He sits with it, processes it, tries to understand. Maybe Ross had somewhere to be. Maybe there was an emergency. Maybe. Then he finds out the truth. Ross didn't have an emergency. Ross went straight to another podcast, a White Run podcast. Sat down for 2 hours, didn't leave early, didn't check his watch, answered every question they threw at him, including the one about being a correctional officer.
Look, bro, listen, man. I came to your podcast. I came for free, homie, no charge. I did it on Face, homie. I didn't ask you what your analytics was and this and that. I came on Face, homie, to show love. And don't make it like I walked off on you. I left early. Rose had some other things to do too. But guess what? I came for free, nigga. I wasted that nice ass Gucci jacket on that look, man. I couldn't even really wear my Gucci jacket again. But my nigga, I did it for love. And next time I come for free, at least have me some lemon pepper wing stop at that bitch. You heard me? But I came for free. I ain't charge you. You feel me? Don't talk about Rose other business. I came and did that. And what is the analytics? How the show doing anyway? I come back on it and I'm gonna walk off that bitch the next time.
The one question the 85 South crew would have never asked, because they respected him too much to go there.
Ross, big homie. First of all, you know it love. Second of all, I got to call a spade when it's a spade. You say you did it for free. Everybody do it for free, Ross. You ain't the only nigga. Boosie did it for free. T.I. do it for free. Nigga Busta Rhymes did it for free. Nigga Snoop Dogg did it for free. Everybody who sat on that couch do it for free. Now, that wasn't the biggest moment. Now, that's one of the viral moments, but Boosie, episode 8 million. Got Country Wayne, shit like 6, 7 million. Like, we do numbers, we do analytics. Our analytics, we was the biggest before you came, and we was the biggest afterwards. So you always got room to come back to be on the biggest podcast in the world, correct? You did.
And that's when DC realized it wasn't about time. It wasn't about scheduling. Ross didn't want to be there. Not with them. Not with his own people. He'd rather sit with strangers who'd grill him than stay comfortable with brothers who'd protect him. That realization burned. DC tries to keep it professional at first. In interviews, he says he still loves Ross, still respects the music, but he can't let it slide completely. He says what Ross did was shady, humiliating, disrespectful. And when Ross finally responds, it makes everything worse. Ross posts a video, acting like he did them a favor, says he came for free, says he didn't charge them, says he didn't ask about their analytics. Like showing up was charity. Like the 85 South show needed Rick Ross to exist. And DC, who's been holding back, who's been measured, who's been respectful, finally snaps. He reminds everyone that Ross wasn't special. T.I. came for free. Snoop came for free. Every legend who's ever sat on that couch came for free, because that's how the culture works. You show up for your people. You support the platforms that support you. And their analytics. They were pulling 6 to 8 million views before Ross, and they pulled the same after. They didn't need him. They wanted him. There's a difference. But Ross keeps talking, keeps making excuses, keeps acting like they should be grateful. Mentions lemon pepper wings like that's the issue. Like if they'd fed him better, he would have stayed. And DC sees through it. He tells his audience straight up, if you've got limited time, say that when you arrive. Tell us you've got an hour. Tell us you've got 45 minutes. We'll work with it. We'll respect it. But don't show up acting like you're doing us a favor and then ghost without a word. That's coward behavior. That's sneaky. That's the kind of move that makes people wonder what you're really running from. And that question, what is Ross running from, starts to take on a life of its own. Because this isn't just about a podcast walkout anymore. This is about patterns. This is about history. This is about things people have been whispering about for years that are finally starting to surface. The parties, the NDAs, the phone confiscations, the all-white dress codes, the phone, oh, the phone. Thick white covering everything, covering everyone. And right there in the middle of it on camera, blurred but unmistakable, Rick Ross standing next to Diddy. DC drops the clip strategically, right after Ross promotes another pool party. August 2nd, promises it's going to be a vibe, says he's going to DM DC and have him host like they're friends, like nothing ever happened. But DC's already decided he's not playing along anymore, so he releases the footage. Not clear, just blurred enough to avoid legal trouble, but sharp enough to raise questions. And the internet does what the internet does best. It freezes frames, slows down playback, zooms in. People start identifying details. A metallic bracelet with a unique emblem. Someone in the crowd who wasn't supposed to be there. Someone connected to Diddy's circle in ways that make lawyers nervous. Then the old stories start resurfacing. The shooter from 2018, Jonathan O'Day, the one everyone called crazy. The one who ranted about being kept as a slave, about rituals, about Diddy and Ross being closer than anyone knew, about being forced into encounters, about satanic ceremonies, and CIA mind programming, and Bohemian Grove, and bowls and symbols and contracts, and infections and lawyers named Kenny Meiseles. Everyone laughed at him back then, called him a conspiracy nut, called him delusional. But then Diddy's name started appearing in lawsuits, real lawsuits, with real accusations. Cassie's testimony, leaked party footage, NDAs being broken, and suddenly Jonathan's rant from 2018 doesn't sound so crazy anymore. People go back and watch Diddy's BET Lifetime Achievement Award speech. And there it is, Diddy thanking Kenny Meiseles by name, the same lawyer Jonathan mentioned, the same lawyer he said was protecting them, protecting what they were doing, and piece by piece, detail by detail, everything Jonathan said starts lining up with things other people are now confirming independently. The parties, the tapes, the rituals, the control, the secrets. And DC's blurred clip stops looking like gossip and starts looking like evidence. Because here's what people are realizing. The phone wasn't just for aesthetics, it was for cover. It was to hide what was happening in plain sight. The all-white dress code wasn't about style, it was about uniformity, about making everyone look the same, so nobody could be identified later. The phone confiscations weren't about privacy, they were about control, about making sure nothing left that room without permission. And the NDAs, the legal documents everyone had to sign before entering, those weren't just precautions, they were insurance that even if someone saw something, even if someone remembered something, they couldn't talk about it without risking everything. And Ross was there, in the phone, in the memories people are suddenly willing to share. Now that Diddy's empire is crumbling, there's even old footage of Ross and Diddy covered in soap suds washing cars together, laughing. Ross saying the tip's going to be good like it's an inside joke. At the time, it seemed harmless. Silly, even. Now people are watching it with different eyes. Now it feels like a confession hiding in plain sight. Now the soap doesn't seem so innocent. DC goes live one night, and he's different. His voice cracks. His eyes are wet. He's talking about betrayal, about realizing someone close to him has been hating the whole time. He's talking about how social media gave people the power to talk reckless without consequences. How back in the day, anything you said you had to be ready to stand up. And sometimes that meant getting smacked in the mouth. He doesn't say Ross's name. He doesn't have to. The internet fills in the blanks, and his message is clear. The old law still applies. Say what you want online, but eventually someone's going to make you stand on it in real life. The legal emails start arriving, perfectly typed, professionally worded, defamatory, mischaracterizing an event. Remove or face action. But notice what they never say. They never say who was there. They never deny the bracelet. They never explain the NDAs. They just threaten, just pressure, just try to run down the clock, hoping people panic and delete. Accounts reposting the clip get demonetized, flagged, age restricted. Even captions with certain words get hit. It's a coordinated effort to bury the story before it spreads too far. But DC isn't some random blogger. His fan base follows him anywhere. He can take the hits, and the clip keeps circulating, keeps spreading questions nobody wants to answer. And while Ross acts online like nothing happened, while he posts about new music and new ventures and new parties, insiders whisper about something else. A longer cut, more footage, clear angles, sitting in someone's files waiting for the right moment, waiting for the day when blurred isn't enough anymore. When people need to see exactly who was standing where. When the foam finally clears and there's nowhere left to hide. And if that day comes, if that footage ever drops, it won't just end careers, it'll rewrite history.